Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. You're here with the boys of the Poi N Soy podcast. With me, as always, are my longtime friends and co-hosts, Kieran McKee, Gyllenhal. Say what's up to the crowd.
What's going on, everybody?
Got trailers.
Got trailers. So many trailers.
So many trailers.
Oh, yes.
Lord.
Yeah, we're going to go through a little plethora of trailers that have been releasing lately, as well as some of the ones that released during the Super Bowl Sunday.
Take thine money.
All the monies.
Yes.
Might as well get the AMC A list?
The A-list thing or whatever they're doing. You get like, what, 1 or 2 movies a month or something?
No, you get like up to 3 a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah. For like
That's
20-something
throwing money out the door for them. Yeah.
I mean, if you have the time and that is your thing, that is actually absolutely worth it. Like, if you want to see movies on movies, that is completely worth it.
I mean, watching two
covers.
If we had an AMC out here, I'd do it, but we don't got them.
So yeah, we're gonna hit some
Consolidated Theaters, y'all.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, that's Hoy's. That's Hoy's branded theaters. Yeah.
Why Consolidated?
It sounds so depressing.
It's like, well, I couldn't decide on a brand.
And a place that's so happy, it's just so depressing.
I never even thought about the name until you just said it.
Well, we're trying to think of what company we wanted out here. And we thought, why don't we consolidate them?
Thanks
Consolidated
for
Theaters.
ruining that.
Are you happy right now? Want to go see a consolidated movie?
It would be funny if all the movies were like literally it's like shortened versions of all the real movies.
That would really suck.
That would be so.
It's like, dude, and the runtime, like over 10 minutes. Are you kidding me? Like,
so many movies in one day. I didn't think it was possible, but
like every time I watch a movie, you guys don't even realize that I've only seen like 10 minutes of the movie. Just like, dude, crazy.
No, it's so like crazy. That one little kind of Disney trailer that they released of all the movies that they had in 2022.
Oh, yes.
And it's just like, yep, this is your movie. You're going to watch Consolidated. Well, I can say I've seen at least part of each one.
Yeah, the trailer that had Ahsoka in it, but there's still no Ahsoka trailer.
Well, hey, they surprised us with that Guardians one, though.
Not gonna point any fingers, Disney. Seems like we're dropping the ball a bit here, bud.
I'm sorry, if you're Disney or you're Warner Brothers, you can never make Jillian happy.
No, you really can. Just like use any amount of your brain cells that you have in your body.
In your body? What about just in your brain?
No, just your entire body, because I don't even think it's up there anymore. They probably just dissipated, ran around.
Into different parts of the body.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll start it off with a kind of a little nostalgic title that released recently this week. It was more of a little teaser, but is the, I guess you could say, remake of White Man Can't Jump, starring the amazing artist Jack Harlow that everyone loves, right?
Yeah. Love.
Yeah.
I don't even, who is this person?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, just wanted to get your thoughts on it, because I know that, at least I think we probably at some point watched it together, Keone, like just throwing something on TV back in college.
100%.
What are your thoughts? You know, it is relatively a beloved movie with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. So what are your thoughts on them remaking it?
One of my favorite basketball movies, first and foremost.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, love the, I mean, that's one thing I will say. They have a very high hill to climb as far as I'm concerned, because you have Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, both peak, by the way. I mean, Wesley Snipes was literally in damn near everything around that time, so it's gonna be rough,
too, man. Yeah.
I mean, as excited as I am to kind of like go see it, because I do think I will go see it regardless, just because it's such a nostalgic movie for me. One of my dad's favorite movies too. So, I mean, personally, I am excited for it, but like I said, it's
Is it not a Hulu show? I thought it was a Hulu show. Is it not?
I don't remember.
It said only on Hulu.
It was a very short trailer.
I mean, I don't think, because just looking at the cast when I was kind of looking up the movie, I don't think this would be a box office draw. So it's probably the wisest that they just put it straight to streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, they should. I mean, I feel like there's so many movies out right now that
do you guys think that Woody Harrelson's low key, like, not like just like super basketball lover? Because he's been in a lot of basketball things.
He loves basketball.
He's been semi-pro.
100%. Yeah.
He's kind of like the antithesis of
He's a hooper.
Adam Sandler, where Adam Sandler just makes it known he loves basketball, but Woody Harrelson's like, yeah, I'll take this basketball role.
See,
sure.
that's the other thing I will say that you just brought up, and it's a fantastic point. I hate it. I hate it when you know somebody is not athletic and they make them because they're an actor. You know what I mean? No, I hate it when you know they weren't an athlete and they portray some sort of athlete. And like, it's always something subtle. Like, it's like the throwing form, or it's the shooting form, or it's always something. And or it's like, I was like, I hate it when you see something like, oh yeah, like they're throwing a baseball. That's how easy a baseball should be thrown. But then you see a guy like, and it's just like, clearly you never played a sport in your life. And for me, I was like, as long as that part is okay, they can hoop, which I think Jack Harlow, I think I saw him in like the Celebrity
I think it was
All-Star
last
game.
year.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can hoop. So at least there's that. That's one part of it that they could do right by me with. Like, as long as they play basketball, like that's fine with me. The acting part will probably not be great, but you know.
I think the main thing is just I don't want like a shot for shot remake of the first one. Like, if you're gonna, you have so much to
update it.
work with you know, street games, playing for money. You can do so many different storylines with that. So I'm hoping, you know, it doesn't get a little out of hand.
Update it like Space Jam.
Yes,
exactly. That's really all it's got to be, and you know, that's probably why we don't have a good volleyball movie, because doing a 2-on-2 basketball movie. Basketball is easy to kind of find those actors, but like even on the girls' side, there's not a good volleyball movie. You know what I mean? Like, which is crazier to me, because you'd think there'd be enough actresses in Hollywood that would have played some capacity to where
they were in drama club. Come on,
I'm just saying, beach
it's kind of crazy.
2v2, like that would be the best volleyball
Side Out was the
movie
closest one we got, and even that one was a
Chase
questionable
Budinger.
film at best. They could totally make one right now, like like you're telling me, like the McKibbins, the Sanders, like
the Crabs,
like you get those guys that kind of cameo in there. You get one or two guys
about,
that are
like,
fairly
everyone
young.
who doesn't know volleyball is like, McKibbin, Sanders, and Crabs. What are they talking about?
really
They should just remake the Side Out movie. Like, you can find a great older actor that has probably played some volleyball somewhere in the fucking Hollywood sphere. And then you can find a young kid that doesn't have to be the most phenomenal actor you've ever seen, because the original guy wasn't. And then you just make it a nice cameo beach stuff, so people want to come see it because there's people with shirts off and it's a thing.
You know how
You know what I
easy
mean?
it is? You can get like Steph Curry to like cameo in it, because I think his sister was a collegiate player, the one that's married to Damian Lee.
He played a lot.
You can get people to watch it easy.
Easy peasy, bro. Like, it's Anyway,
Doesn't Victor Wembanyama play a little bit of volleyball? Was he the one that I heard plays volleyball?
I would not be surprised if he did, because that would be.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he's the guy, but anyway.
Anyways, we'll move on to another trailer that's come out, and I'll let you guys kind of take it away because it is kind of fresh in your minds. The movie Covenant. We'll kind of get some quick hits on it. It is more of a war story, or surrounding wartime veterans, things of that nature. Situation where a man feels like he owes his life to somebody who pretty much saved him. So I'll kind of let you take it away, Keone. Thoughts on it? Starring Jake Gyllenhaal, for those who are unaware.
It reminds me a lot of, well, obviously it's a wartime film, but it reminds me a lot of, was it the Wind Talkers?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was a show, wasn't it?
No. It's a film that had, good Lord, now I completely forgot who was even in the film.
Did you ever watch Wind Talkers, Jalen?
No.
Wind, something. It's what. Anyway, the premise of that film was essentially they had a translator who was like Native American that like helped them win the war, essentially. So,
it starred Nicolas Cage.
It was Nicolas Cage. I was going to say it, but I was like, was it Nicolas Cage? It was Nicolas Cage in that one.
Adam Beach.
Yeah, totally.
The one that was also in the first Suicide Squad, who died instantly.
Yes, yeah, who died instantly. Yeah. Actually, that was super random because I was like, bro, what was the last movie that guy was in? Wind Talkers or whatever? Is it Wind Talkers?
Yeah, it's called Wind Talkers.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2022. Or 22. 20,
Well, I was
Jesus
like,
Christ, 2002.
I was like, it definitely wasn't
My.
2022.
Are you
It's a Monday.
okay, sir?
It's a Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, right?
But yeah, it gives me vibes from that movie. Obviously, there are a lot of wartime films that have to do with kind of similar stories because translators will always be a thing and they always help when it comes to war. But it also looked very interesting. Guy Ritchie seems to kind of nail it when it comes to these kind of like grittier type of films like this. So I'm pretty excited to see it. I enjoy war films in general. I enjoy historical films. So this will be something that I think will be in my wheelhouse. It looks pretty, action packed. Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he did his homework. But yeah, looks good. I'll probably go see it.
Yeah, same.
Jill?
Jake Gyllenhaal, can't go wrong. Academy Award nominee, Jake Gyllenhaal. And yeah, it's good to see Mysterio kind of branch out. Didn't know he was in the military. It's kind of crazy.
Of all the roles you could have been. Of all the roles. Let's see Mysterio.
You're welcome. But no,
Probably like his least known role.
I know. Oh man. But yeah, no, it looked great. I do like kind of military films. I think there's always a place for like a one solid one to come out every year. I feel like because you have like American Sniper and all that stuff, Extraction,
such a good film.
like it's just there's something about like just a solid modern military movie because, or at least somewhat modern, dealing with stuff in Afghanistan because of the history of this country. So I do think it's always timely to kind of always put that out there for people. So. Yeah, I think I'm ready to rumble. I definitely would watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Now that we're done with the Covenant, we're going to get into a little more juicy stuff. First one that we're going to kind of hit is more of a... Sorry, one of the dogs was getting yelled at. And
I was like, what just happened?
Mom was laying down the law. You go, Queen.
Anyways.
Just hear like, I will murder you!
You hear gunshots in the background.
She's like,
Oh God.
she just comes in covered in blood. She's just like, we have no dog anymore.
What?
How have we not made and just produced a dark comedy film by now? We are just
It's like
we are all just
and they take from The Godfather 2 with the horse's head in the bottom bed.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, hire us for your script.
Ready to go, guys.
The next one, we're gonna get into is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I believe this is the second full trailer that they've released for this movie. Though it is about 4 months out still from the actual release of it. Disney was, I think, on a kind of track where they were waiting up until 3 months out from their actual release date to first release the first trailers. But for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they seem to have just said, hey, let's get people involved in it. I wanted to see your thoughts on it, Jalen, first, regarding it, because I know that there is a lot of new shots in it. It does kind of play a little more into the fun side of it with the kind of back and forth between Gamora and Peter, since he is trying to win her back in a way. Yeah, so I want to get your thoughts on what you thought of the trailer.
I thought the trailer was gripping. It definitely is going to be, I think, the most emotional Guardians movie you guys have ever seen or anybody's ever seen. I'm still holding on to my theory that because we got a lot more look at the main villain is who gave Rocket his origin. So, my sacrifice angle is looking real, just in the forefront for this film, as much as I love Rocket. And so the trailer was really cool, and I can't wait to not watch it in theaters because James Gunn directed it. You thought I forgot. Absolutely not.
You were almost there.
You're so close.
So close.
You thought I fucking forgot.
Close.
No, not ever.
I'm wondering, though, because now that we got in the holiday special, I don't know. I feel like maybe it could be Mantis who dies, but I don't know if it'd be as emotionally gripping as
I don't
Rocket
think
or Drax.
You're not getting that reaction from Peter in that one shot. Because especially after the second one and the events of Infinity War and Endgame, like Rocket has made this huge arc, and Peter has also kind of taken kinship to that.
Yeah.
So I
think it is. Yeah. I mean, my first. I think when we go back, I forgot what we all picked, but I think I said Rocket and Drax look like they're going to be the ones. One
Possibly,
or the other,
yeah.
or the other is going to be the one that bites the dust. But toss it over to you, Keone. What were your thoughts regarding the trailer?
I mean, if the first one didn't already get us hyped, this one just layers, man, just layers. I mean, getting to see a full blown Adam Warlock was pretty dope.
That was great.
I mean, good lord,
Dude looks good, by the way.
Yeah,
I did kind of get annoyed that they did the one shot in the trailer where it was like the kind of like fish islands where his head's like all up in there. It's like background is kind of like fading out. You know what I mean?
That's a very James Gunny type of.
Because they did that in
shot,
Black
I feel
Adam
like.
too, didn't they?
Yeah, but I feel like that's very, very James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, even like was it Suicide Squad or I forgot which one they kind of had like that similar shot, but with that weird. Oh, that was the weird weasel thing. So that was Suicide Squad. I was like, they kind of had like a weird fisheye type of shot with him. But so I think that's just his style. But anyway, I do think like it looks very good. I think we're not ready for who's going to bite the dust, because somebody is definitely going to bite the dust, and we're going to be very, very torn up about it. I can already imagine.
Yeah.
I'm going to say too, I was like, it does seem like, especially with his comments on like Fallon, that it'll be Batista's character, because he seems to be pretty. I mean, he already said outright he's done after this film. So,
but they are doing like so much. I don't know if it's like redirection, because it's like the first trailer, still pretty much the same voiceover from Rocket. This trailer it shows a lot more of Drax like getting effed up like in whatever fights they're doing. So it's like one of you two, or both of you two, or neither of you two. Like I have no idea what's gonna happen.
I mean, it's funny because I feel like they've done so much misdirection in the past that now everybody's constantly doing that. But then, like, maybe they're just misdirecting us by having no misdirection, and that's in itself a misdirection. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I think just because of what he has said, there's a good chance that he's gonna exit in a way that's pretty, altering for the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm interested to see it, man. It looks so damn good. I just can't wait. When does it come out?
I hope it's more of just like the band breaking up more so than him dying in the film. Because like narratively, it wouldn't make sense for him to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like narratively, from what's been established, relationship wise,
actually May.
Yeah, I thought I said May. I was just saying. I thought it said May.
Oh no, you know what? The Flash of July, which we'll get to in a bit. So
yeah, the Flash is in July. But like again, I feel like it would be a narrative mistake to do the misdirection to Drax, and from what we've seen in the trailers, like let us understand that like it's probably Rocket, especially because of who we're dealing with and why we're dealing with him. Like probably Rocket, and that's the ultimate thing he can do to save his new family, which would be
it's like or Super Swerve. Only Peter survives.
Only Peter survives.
Or what's really happening is Peter dies and he's looking as his guts are being ripped out, and that's why he's screaming on screen.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. That could be happening. Yeah. Somebody likes horror movies. Jesus.
I was like, why would
you're gonna rewatch the trailer. You know what? That kind of makes sense.
Could be Gamora dying again too. That would also cause quite the visceral reaction from
for him. But I'm like, for me, I'd be like,
But yeah,
she died already. Like,
it's done with. You're
the first time was damn, but
damn.
But
then again,
they got the stone.
We said that with Loki, and then like that last one kind of hit, even though he came right back, but still.
And then when he was rewatching it, it hit again.
Yeah.
Hit a little different.
But next one, and for those who are unaware, it is coming out. I believe it said May 5th.
It is May,
so it's 3 months away.
Ballsy. Ballsy. You're gonna do that right after May 4th. Wow, good for you, Disney.
May the 4th be with you.
That's a ballsy drop right there.
Actually, technically, I'm probably going to be watching it on May the 4th, because usually it actually debuts the day
Thursday.
before, yeah. So I was like,
traitor! You were the chosen one. And going more into being a traitor. Did you guys
get to see that video that I sent? Where it was like, knock knock. Who's there? Hi. And he's like, "Hi, hold on." He's like, "Hi,
Yes. It's so good. He's like, "Oh, no, son of a bitch."
So we're nerds. Anyways, the next one we're
for
going.
yourself, dog. Bitch. No. Huh?
What?
Hold on, wait.
What? God, you know what? I'm sick of you. I'm gonna go play Harry Potter. Walk off skull. Walk off.
You're such a nerd. I'm gonna go play Harry Potter.
Babe, where's my wand?
I know, like I don't even have the
God.
controller. I have like
You're
motion
outside.
controls.
Outside your front yard.
Like running on with a broom, like yes.
Like, I don't have a broom, but I use my Swiffer, so it's got this
Oh no,
Oh boy.
Jesus.
But yes, the
I'm
next
just
trailer
playing
we're getting
Quidditch with all the neighbor kids.
next trailer we're about to get
Not the
into
younglings.
is
Not the younglings, yeah.
the one that Jalen is thoroughly excited about.
So excited.
Flash.
Yeah.
Finally, we get a release of a trailer to give it an actual frame of work so that we know that it's actually real and that
Kind of.
Ezra Miller is
Kind of
smack
real.
dab in the middle, front and center.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you first, Keone. Take it away. What are your thoughts on the trailer?
You know what's funny? There was one thought that kept kind of popping into my head as I was watching it that I was thinking, well, besides the fact that Ezra Miller is an idiot,
Right. Of course.
I kept thinking, like, I wonder if they would go through the lengths of swerving us for the entire like middle of that in trailer where they kind of show like two Ezra Millers, and if in any way at all that other Barry Allen could actually be, you know, maybe that's me having too much faith in them to think
Way
that they
too much
could,
faith.
that could actually be Grant Gustin in that spot as opposed to just being a second Ezra Miller. But either way, I was like, if for some reason that is a thing, if he does appear sometime in this film, you know, maybe there's some hope there for what they could be doing. It's cool. They got a lot of bells and whistles in this trailer. There's a lot of things they dropped. We saw Zod. We saw freaking like two Flashes. We saw Keaton Batman. We saw Ben Affleck Batman. We like there's a lot. I mean, even in there, I mean, Supergirl. There seems to be just a whole lot of something. I think we've been talking about for as long as we've been talking about it. I think it's a little too late kind of deal. I'm not sure how this will fit in the greater scheme of things, or if it even is going to be part of the greater part of the DCU. And if not, then I mean, at this point, I'm probably not that excited to see this movie just because I'm like, it's not going to lead anywhere. So why am I going to be excited to see a bunch of these characters kind of brought back into the trailer and then literally it leads nowhere? So
Well, didn't you hear, Keone? That's his whole plan hinges on this film. So,
anyways, I was going to say I would be thoroughly interested because I know that Jalen talked about it last time when we did the DC Slate announcements. Now seeing it on screen and how she's kind of being portrayed, I am definitely very interested in a Supergirl movie now.
Yep.
Like if they do decide, like, you know what, we're going to stick with her through and through into the new DCU, I would definitely be interested because she looks like a complete badass and a little darker toned, you know, not more like, you know, no. Really?
The other one,
really?
The other one was
kind of
white,
more,
and she's darker toned.
I meant her hair was darker, not the same blonde hair.
brother.
God.
Wow,
Dear God in heaven.
God, I am color.
do you see
Degenerates, all of you.
Why I'm
Jesus.
actually color. This is a joke we always.
I'm black.
I say like, oh, can I? When we're playing video games, I'll be like, oh, where's that one thing that's like this color? Like, you mean red? I'm like, I'm color Blind County. I can't see.
Literally cannot tell what color it is. Yeah.
Cannot tell one bit.
But yeah,
Quite
I'm on that same exact train. I think the Supergirl looks absolutely badass. I mean, if she's the one they stick with for the next one, I mean, with it, because she looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, looking forward to that fan casting episode. So just be on the lookout for that when we
gonna be a banger.
our DC universe. Just saying.
Yeah.
Do a podcast near you. Jillian, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What are your thoughts regarding this travesty?
Hey, it's a cool trailer. Like, it is a fucking awesome trailer. Like, it is what it is. Michael Keaton saying the thing, you know what I mean? Like, in the costume, in the bat lair. Yeah, like, bruh, come on. That's a sick fucking thing. It looks like they're going pretty beat for beat with the OG comics. The only thing we didn't get to see was who the Reverse Flash is supposed to be if they're doing Flashpoint. I don't know if they're going to quite do that literal of an adaptation, because we also didn't see any Atlanteans, which are heavily involved in that story arc. If you haven't seen the animated movie, go watch it.
So good.
I mean, it's that.
So good.
So do you
Literally,
think
they're
Michael
just ripping
Keaton
it
is
off
taking the
a little bit.
role of? I mean, they didn't
Thomas
technically
Wayne
call
kind of
him Bruce in the
grafting it.
trailer.
Yeah, they're just kind of grafting some and switching some pieces. So like the red sun origin for that skinny Superman in that movie, that's going to be Kara, and that's kind of how she gets out in the world, which kind of, it's fine. That makes sense. So they can kind of weave that part in a little bit and have their superhero person or Kryptonian that they need. So that's cool. Again, really great trailer. Can't wait to watch it by other means, because I can't see a world where, like, not only do I not want it to do well on the sake of their lead actor is a literal criminal in so many ways, but on top of that, I don't want this movie to do well, because then James Gunn's universe won't do well. Because if this movie tanks, then the rest of his universe doesn't get to happen, as we've seen multiple times. I don't like wishing ill will on a film that a lot of people worked on, yada yada. But here's the thing. Y'all have messed up so many times and like so often, instead of just doing what the logical and correct thing is. You got a guy like James Gunn. You had a great universe. By the way, all the cool things that people are excited about they saw in this trailer are things from Zack Snyder's universe. But because you can't reconcile and just give people what they want, you have to try to erase yourself from that universe completely. This is what we're doing. So it was cool seeing Affleck's Batman and Keaton's Batman. I assume there's got to be a scene where like they're both on screen together. Going to be totally badass. Can't wait to see it. Again, I'm really curious to see what the Reverse Flash looks like, if there is one. I don't know if they quite did that angle, or if they're maybe going to pivot off of the the Justice League from Zack Snyder, because that's kind of where they could lean.
If he plays his own Reverse Flash, that'll be so lame.
It would be the most lame thing I've ever seen.
If the twin in there is supposed to be Reverse Flash, just hidden in some way.
Or not even Reverse Flash. If they just try to do like evil Future Barry, which is a thing.
That'll be
I would be so lame. Like,
it'll literally flip the entire. Yeah, that'll be so lame.
How
gross.
He is evil.
I mean, yeah, but there and
like
also
it literally just shows highlights of his real life, like
the thing that's most frustrating, because you brought up a good point, Keone. Like, what if they're trying to swerve us, but they don't have the brain or the capacity to, which is the unfortunate part. Because it would have been cool.
Just hates everything.
They don't.
Right.
They don't. If they did, they would have done any amount of effort to try to make it like so cool. Because they canceled the Flash. Well, not canceled, but like this, the Flash is ending, right? And like Grant Gustin is, I think, universally pretty high bar accepted as like a really great portrayer of the Flash, at least in the TV realm. And there's no reason to say he couldn't do it again in the big screen realm. So like, why is there not a great move when you have this idiot leading this film to somehow swerve it a little bit? Like towards the end of season 9, we can do some crazy fucking time loop shit because it's the Flash and no one cares. Put him in that universe at the end of the fucking movie, and then he's your Flash moving forward. Like, that would be the best way to do it.
I mean, they're still filming the season finale. It's not any... I'm sure they could just be like, hey, Grant, just keep the suit on. Go over there to that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they could totally make it a thing. Because they dropped Ezra and... They dropped Ezra for a cameo in the Infinite... or Crisis Infinite thing that they did.
Yeah.
Like, That was a thing. So it's clearly doable and not hard. So like,
it is in the realm of
I mean?
possibility.
It is. I just have zero faith at any capacity that they would have brains enough to do it.
You never
I
know.
wish I had more. But yeah, really awesome trailer though. Like the trailer itself is fucking phenomenal. I just watched it again the other day, like today when I woke up. I was like, damn, it's a lot of cool stuff. I wish it wasn't Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
So-
bro, that's exactly what I think.
This is so awesome.
If it just wasn't him, yeah, I know. It's going to be hard.
But we'll find out. I believe the movie releases this summer, so
Yep.
they do have some time here and there to do some touch-ups. I think any reshoots have already happened if that's the case. So unless they're keeping it under wraps for something with Grant Gustin, we'll have to hold our breath on that one. What?
I was going to say, what would you do if they dropped an Army Hammer Batman in this film?
Jeez.
I could not believe you didn't hear about
Bro,
it.
I heard nothing about
Hammer
this.
should
Yeah.
totally
And then I
He's like,
read
bro.
2 lines of the initial report, and I
I
said,
was like,
"Wow,
I don't think he'd be very good in that, bro.
yeah." But then, like, you think about who they casted already in some.
That's why I said, I was like,
And
could
he
you
fit
imagine
right
if
in.
he drops in here? Like, the new
So-
Justice League.
By the way,
Cannibals.
Ezra Miller still has this job, but like, we lost Johnny Depp for Fantastic Beasts 4. Like, what? Huh? Somebody make it make sense, please.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that'll do it for the big trailer reviews that we had going on today. Actually did want to, because I just saw it right before we pressed record. Did you guys see that quick little spot they did for the new Rise of the Beast trailer for Transformers?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm still amped to go see that movie.
Yeah.
Me
with
too.
my
And it was
aunt,
Pete
as
Davidson.
traditional.
I knew he was in it, but I was like, oh, he's like the main
He's in it.
Autobot. I was like,
Yes.
wow. I was like, that's interesting. I hope he pulls it off because
He's gonna crush it, man. I love
Yeah.
Pete David. Did you guys watch the little indie movie he made about basically it's like his
Oh yeah, King of
semi-autobiography?
Staten Island.
Yeah, I was
Fucking
going to say, was it?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
All
Props.
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 Next part we're going to go into is I'm just going to kind of relay some things to you guys regarding news about movies in general that have been released over the last week or so. First one is AMC theaters. Seat prices are now being adjusted based off of where in the theater you are seated. So obviously that first kind of front section is going to be what I understand their normal price is now. And then middle of the theater is supposed to be like I don't know what they're bumping it up to is like their next up level. And then premium seating is kind of how it is. So each kind of area of the theater is going to be a different price, but overall prices are going up. Want to kind of get your thoughts on that really quick? Because obviously I know, Keone, you don't really go to the AMC theaters because they're not really
Is this
buying
all
it.
theaters that are run
All
by AMC, or
AMC.
is
all AMC theaters.
but
Yes.
all
no,
AMC
but I was gonna say, is this all of the like? Because not all of them are doing the full blown like order food at your chair deal. Like a lot, some
Those
of them
haven't been updated yet.
Oh,
but
yeah.
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 So it's still going to apply, I would assume, just because it's owned by AMC. So
I hate this idea.
I do too.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate it. I think, first of all, I've always been completely against the idea of like creating like this disparity of like, oh, I can afford more than you. Hate that idea already. So that's already a concept I cannot get on board with. And for it to just be about getting more money, or it just adds more fuel to that fire. I mean, small example is like literally booking tickets for a flight on United back in the day. You pay one price, you pick your seat, all that deal. Now it's like you pay a price, you don't even get to pick a seat. Like you might not even be sitting with your significant other. Like it's so stupid. Like we've gotten to this point in society where like, oh, let's just create division in every damn thing we do. So like for me, I absolutely hate this idea. I think it's so stupid. It's such a financial pool for AMC, like who already is one of the top players in theaters already. And like, unless you're going to get to the point where you create a theater that's literally the size of like an actual like performing arts theater, like to me, it makes no sense because the theater experience is one where it's like there really isn't so much of a disparity as far as where you're sitting. Like it's not like my experience in the middle of the row is going to be that much greater than somebody who's like to the left of me. Like so for me, It's dumb. That is such a stupid idea. I'm not.
I would agree. I'm kind of on the same train. I do think it does it rewards you for being more well off than others.
Yeah.
Like if
Like
you
we need
bring,
more
if
of
you bring
that
your family to go
in the
see
world.
like an animated movie, a family of four, like, well, because there was 4 tickets, we had to get the cheaper tickets. So,
Tell me this isn't like another like American thing. Like this seems like a very American thing for us.
Communism, man, it's fine. It's not.
Isn't it more capitalism?
I don't know.
Everything
seems like it's communism.
But it is funny because of
Everything seems like it's communism.
Jalen, your thought? I don't know, how many AMC's do you have near you in Missouri?
We have 2. I mean, like by my house, there's 2.
Okay.
And there's one that I go to all the time.
They're not the top though, right? For you, right?
They are for me if I have to pick. Like if I'm going to go pick, if I'm going to go see a premiere movie, whatever, we're going to an AMC.
Gotcha.
We have a B&B chain that's out here too. That's pretty good. They have a tower that's right by my high school. So like not even 5 minutes. I just go under a bridge and then I'm at a movie theater. So I've done a bunch of 3 o'clock showings with my buddy from work.
Very
so.
nice.
Right on.
Yeah. I can't say that I'm surprised. It's a day that like I definitely thought could happen eventually, much like going to an opera back in the day or whatever, paying for certain seats. Like it is what it is, and especially with the climate of movie theaters needing to do whatever they can to stay open and make money. So there's that part of me as a protector of the movie going experience, and I want theaters to stay open forever, always, because I think that's a valuable thing. It's something I enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. So I don't care. Like there's a part of me that's like, I really don't care how they keep making money. But then there is a logical side of like, why are we making this like a socioeconomic thing and like keeping people from enjoying a movie the way that they want to enjoy the movie? You know what I mean? Like I don't think raising the price is going to solve an issue of those good seats going away faster. So really the average moviegoer is still going to pay the average movie price for going to see a movie, because the ones that are diehard are going to get in there, pay it up. They don't care how much it is. They just want the tickets.
But I'm wondering,
get the good seat. Like
when you think about it, like let's say it's a movie that's been out for like 4 weeks, you know, and
right.
your kid has a day off from school, and you're like, oh, you know what? Let's go see a movie together. Empty theater. You know that it's kind of done its leg already. It's not really going to have a full packed theater anymore. Now you're kind of forced. Oh, okay, empty theater. There are seats in any section I want, but I am not monetarily financial enough to buy this ticket just willy-nilly, as opposed to sitting back in the front again for the base price. I just feel like it is.
That's true. Like an empty theater, like, it'd be pretty annoying to have to pay for
now I like, Dad, why are we sitting all the way up here? All those seats back there are empty. I mean, realistically, you could probably just back up and sit right back there if it's an empty.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because people are going to do that anyway. Especially, like, you might see a bunch of people wait 2 more weeks to go see a movie because then it'll be more empty. And no offense to like theater ushers, but most of them are fucking high schoolers. They're not actually going to go and check.
Yeah.
Are you doing an F11? Oh, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you. Because you're not in the right section. I'm sorry. I'm
actually wondering, though, if they're going to do that for, like... Because I didn't really read into the report too much. I just kind of read the quick hit points. If they're going to be like, oh, this pricing is only going to last for the first 4 weeks that a movie's in... Or first month that the movie's in theaters. After that, we'll allow it to go back to its kind of base standard, because we know that an empty theater makes sense for someone to pay just one price, universal price, for whatever seat they decide to sit at.
I think that angle I could see working okay.
That actually makes more sense, yeah.
Because the more they get tickets sold, I mean, like, the movie's going to make its box office, but, I mean, premieres and stuff are how theaters...
Yeah, because this is strictly for the
this will affect the whole, like, top movies all-time deal.
No, I think those are strictly for the theaters.
Okay. I was like,
because I think
affect
like, obviously concessions go straight to theaters.
Yeah.
But I think they said it's like 33% is what goes to the theater chains. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's going to actually be something that they have to draft up for the whole.
I wouldn't know. So
yeah,
I agree with whatever number you say there.
Whatever number.
You could have said something really ridiculous, and I still would have.
I think it's like 95% that goes to the theaters. Imagine.
Wow.
There will be none of these issues if 95% went to the theaters.
Yeah, we'd still have $6 tickets, man.
We would. Jesus.
All right, moving on. One of these kind of things that I think maybe Jalen can give us a little more info into. Apparently, it's been reported. I think it was from Hollywood Reporter. They reported that Amazon has gotten the rights to create a Spider-Man noir movie set in the 1930s and it will not be a Peter Parker Spider-Man.
No, it will not.
Could you give us a little intel on what is Spider-Man Noir, if you have any sort of info regarding it?
It's just an offshoot. It's think of it kind of like an Elseworlds for Marvel. So there's all these different types of kind of multiversal Spider-Men, like you saw in the Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Man Noir, while done well by Nicolas Cage, is just a little bit more. It's more gritty. It's a way you can do it on a streaming budget without having to do all the big, big VFX stuff of a No Way Home, of a Spider-Man 2, whatever.
But
so I think it's a
though,
great angle to get in there. It is Amazon, but I don't think they're going to.
Money. They just go, yeah, Sony, we'll take this rights
Lord
for
of the
you.
Rings.
But you can do it in a decent budget because they're doing it noir. So that means you're not having to go over the top for a lot of set design stuff. Actually, it would depend on what era, because I think back it was 50s ish kind of era when they did the noir stuff for that particular Spider-Man. So if they want to do a modern noir, they could, or if they just want to kick it back to that time, then they might have to spend some money on VFX. But you're not paying a big budget, you're not making a big Spider-Man movie. It's smaller. It's more contained. It doesn't have to be as action-packed. They're probably going to try to make the Batman version of Spider-Man Noir, which I think would be cool. A little weird that it's not Peter Parker, because even in the Spider-Man Noir, it's a version of Peter. So I'm not sure what they're trying to do with that, because I feel like you can just still go that route and people are going to understand, oh, this isn't it's Spider-Man. It's such a
maybe they couldn't get the rights
property.
to Peter Parker.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it something with the rights?
Yeah.
Because they still have their hand with, I'm assuming there's going to be a renegotiated contract for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. If they decide not to, then it's Sony still has him, but if maybe they can't do it until they get everything going over there, or maybe they ask Tobey Maguire to come back just to do this noir one.
That'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
with his emo cut too.
Yes. But yeah, it's a really cool version of Spider-Man. I think that people will be. I'm interested to see what angle they go with it and how dark and gritty they want to go. If it's the noir story. So, but yeah, that's basically what it is: black and white and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Thoughts on it, Keone? I don't know if you are. You've seen Into the Spider-Verse, so I know you know what character we're talking about.
It'll be an interesting thing. It's another one of those things. I think Jay always says, all the time, is nobody really asked for it, but sure, if it's there, if they make it, if it ends up being good, right on.
Bonus.
Yeah. Bonus. But if it's bad, I don't think anybody's really going to care either. So either way, win-win.
Yeah, I think Amazon was the right move for it too. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can just come out the cut and drop that in theaters.
I really wonder how it's going to turn out.
Yeah,
it'll be. I have no expectations for it, so
watch party.
I think it's also smart for Amazon because they can
get
their hands in some cookie jars now.
That's a great idea, Jay. Just saying, watch party for a weird film like that that's going to drop on Amazon.
Could record a live commentary, perhaps some Patreon rewards could involved. Girl. Just saying.
Anyway.
Support us, please. No, it's just okay.
Next thing we're going to do before we get into our Last of Us episode 4 review, is quick things that
or just 4?
Pixar. Just 4.
Just 4.
Because the guy who hosts this didn't even watch this.
Son of a bitch.
I was busy this weekend. I apologize. Anyways.
It came out.
This is work.
It came out 2 days earlier because of the Super Bowl. You didn't.
No, I don't care if you're on ATV. You just watch it while you're going up and down. Dude.
Come on, man.
I'm in the hospital. Don't worry, guys. I can still record. So Pixar has announced a few sequel movies that they're going to be coming out with in the near future, which are Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, Toy Story 5, and Inside Out 2.
Wow.
Real quick, I want you to kind of just make 2 lists. Which ones do you actually want to happen? Which ones do you not want to happen? Give a little touch on why.
Sorry, say the list one more time. One more time.
Frozen 3. Zootopia 2.
Yep.
Toy Story 5 and Inside Out 2.
Right on. Okay. I think of the entire list, there's probably only one I'd put on the whatever, and that would be Inside Out. Because I'm not.
Really?
I enjoyed the film. but I do think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, how much more can we explore? That
so much more.
I mean, I guess let me rephrase
psychology
this.
right here. Come
How
on.
many more? How much more can we explore? Where like Disney is, I don't know, because I feel like Disney's always trying to like keep it PG, where they kind of avoid like getting too into like normal stuff in life. So I'd be curious to see how they handle like. Because obviously she's going to get to the age of like pubescent times. So
I actually didn't read it. If maybe, is it going to be the same actual girl that?
Oh, okay. Well, then
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it would. I mean, for me, it makes sense because technically the character
She was only in middle school the last time we saw her. Now we can get into high school where we're going to have some real crazy stuff going.
That's true. That is true. I mean, but I'll say this. I mean, of that list, because I think that was the one that I was kind of like not super invested in, that I would be more for the other three. Just because, I mean, Toy Story, it's Toy Story. I mean, we grew up on Toy Story. So if they're doing another one, 4 was fantastic. They continue to just raise the bar every time they do it. Especially from an animation standpoint. I mean, the last one looked freaking gorgeous. Like the lighting and everything in it was fantastic. So I'm with that one because I already knew technically that one was coming. I'm not sure if this is going to be the end of their, entire thing. So I expect it to be a tearjerker. Frozen 3, I mean, me personally, I'm not like a Frozen, but I do understand the property, and I do think that it's like a pretty well-received one. A lot of people went to see. Yeah, exactly. It's a money grab for sure. I mean, 100%. I mean, how many more songs can they drop that I need to hear every little girl singing at Disneyland when, the fireworks start popping off? But there's that. And then Zootopia, for me personally, that was one of the more underrated films that they've dropped for Disney. The world, fantastic. I think they did such a good job at kind of like doing all the different ecosystems. I thought that was super interesting. I think they built something that has legs to be a fantastic, probably trilogy if they keep it going in the way that they're headed. And on top of that, I think they've already kind of done like shows with it that have all been well received. And you got a great cast for the film. So I think there's that. So I'm excited to see what they do with that one as well. But of all of them, Inside Out for me personally is not one that I'm super, super, super invested in. But I will say I understand its place in the grand scheme of Disney. So,
Jillian, I'll swing it over to you.
As far as ones that like I don't need anymore, like the negative side of the list, I don't really care about another Toy Story. Ironically, just because it. From what I understood, 3 was pretty finite, and then they popped out a 4th.
3 was,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was the one. I was like,
okay, three bangers were good, and then they popped out a 4th one, which was like, it was good, but like 3 was something else, cause of, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously this 5th one. So I don't think I need a 5th Toy Story as much as I'm excited for it, right? Frozen 3, you can punt that one. I don't care. The first one's nothing's living to the first one, as far as I'm concerned. The first one was such a big cultural hit. I think it was a great just film in general, as far as like the story and everything.
I was always curious to ask you guys this because Bianca and I have talked about it, and we're like, that's an interesting concept. Would you ever be down to see like a Avengers-esque version of like the princesses who all have like abilities?
Hell yeah.
Right?
Well, there's lore that Tangled or something is connected to Frozen.
oh yeah,
They're in the same world or something.
I'm
yeah.
just
They
saying,
have these random things that's like
having like Mulan be like the muscle, and then having
Something.
her Elsa
they
be
kinda-
like the. I'm just saying.
they played off of that in what was it, Wreck-It Ralph 2 or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's why
fun.
this
that
would be
was the moment.
sickest movie.
That was the moment I think Bianca and I were like, this would be a dope movie. Like, I'm
would.
just imagining it. Like, imagine all of them together.
Yeah.
Just saying, Disney,
I
And if you take this idea,
suing you for everything.
Everything. We have it on recording. It is on the web.
Damn right. It's on
Done
here
for.
now. Yeah.
And then they show us papers that they made this movie script like 5 years ago. Oh.
It's
Oh,
like,
oops.
Whoopsie.
My bad.
it's like, so
I
now
think,
we're suing you.
I think
for
the one I'm
everything
most
you don't
excited
have.
for is the Inside Out 2, to be honest. I feel like it's way overdue because I think the first one was awesome, and there's
loved
definitely like I can see angles of how they can keep making at least 3, right? Because she was like in like kind of elementary, middle school in the first
I think it was middle
one,
school.
like kind of kind of that age.
It was
So now
middle
you,
school, yeah.
you could do like a high school one, and then you can do a a college one, and then you can maybe do like one where she's like super old and all that kind of stuff.
It's
So you
like
watch
also
this
just
person
ended
kinda,
where she's dying
like,
and all
exactly
all her emotions are dying.
wow. Way to go as gruesome as possible.
Maybe-
for
no,
a
you know
children's
what I'm saying?
Worse,
film.
Imagine-
she's
imagine
dealing with
this.
Alzheimer's, and
I was just about to
losing
say
one of them.
Like,
Oh my
imagine
God.
imagine them forgetting each other. Like
That would be funny.
like all the emotions forgetting each other. Oh,
It could be.
that
It could
would
be
be
a very
funny.
wholesome
You
and funny.
sicko. No, I'm just-
It would be wholesome and funny. Disney can spin it. They do that shit all the time. Toy Story 3. Look what happened.
Ooh, that's
Just saying. They know how to do the hard hitting stuff. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that little hand grab moment.
Done. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Fucking stop it. I'm going to cry right now. Anyways, Zootopia 2 is in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the first one. I thought it was definitely an underrated film. I agree with Keone. I think it was better than people gave it credit for as far as just like what happened in the movie. And plus that sloth meme is never, ever going away from the internet because that is
never.
exactly how it feels to go to a DMV. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, that's about how I've fared with the rest of them. It's mainly just I'm excited for Inside Out 2. Anything after Frozen 1, I can't it's not. I'm never excited for it because the first one is just it's such a banger, bro. Like the first Frozen is absolute. It's damn near perfection. So
it was a banger until me working with children. It was just let it go every fucking day. Every
Yeah.
all right, Sarah, let's go continue this activity. Let it go. Sorry, what?
No,
I
you
was,
should
there
really
was never a
let
moment
it
where
go.
I hated that movie more when I was like working for Disney on Main Street. I had a cart that sold was it
Like
hot
frozen
chocolate?
memorabilia?
No, it was hot chocolate, and so it was like just direct center of Main Street. They're doing the fireworks display above the castle, and like the Let It Go song comes on, and I tell you, like when I say that every single woman and child was singing this song
Like it was church.
like literally, and I was sitting in the middle of it like, what am I doing with my life? It was a moment where I was just like, what am I doing here? Like,
Jesus. That bad, huh?
It's like- it was too much. Yeah, it was way too much because it felt like somebody started it and then like everybody got in, and I was just like, I'm just in the middle of it. Like, this is not great. Like,
Sounds like you have a lot
This
of
is not it. You know what?
hatred and anger that you should.
What am I
you,
doing?
go.
Maybe,
You never
maybe
won.
I should just start a podcast and spill my feelings for the web to hear.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
But yeah, I'm kind of on the same train as Jalen. I think that Toy Story didn't need to continue after 3, 4. I thoroughly enjoyed, but now you have to wonder. How are they gonna
I
bring
would say
Woody and Buzz back?
I'm in agreement with that. I thought they should have just ended it at 3. The only reason I'm excited for 5 is because 4 came out and it was good. Like that's where my excitement comes in.
But like, how are they supposed to like? He's
Do
a
anything.
playground toy now. He's
I don't know.
with Bo
Woody did. Yeah, I know. I was like, is Woody even going to be in this one?
I know.
not
I think Tim
sure.
Allen has confirmed he's back as Buzz. So unless they just go with Buzz and the OG toys,
See, then now I'm really not excited if it's going to be not including.
come on, they're gonna strike up something with Tom Hanks because it's not like
Speaking of, like,
and-
the Lightyear movie, I get like you're supposed. It was like it was just a confusing premise because it was so off of Toy Story. Like the
was supposed to
animated
be the
series was
movie
cool. Like
that Andy saw. And I was like,
Right.
this wouldn't get me
Exactly.
hyped
Bought the
for
toy
it.
from. Yeah.
That he bought the toy about.
He
Like
didn't
that.
have a laser beam that was cool enough. to
Right,
do
he
it.
didn't do any of the cool stuff that we grew up on with the hero that is Buzz Lightyear. You know what I mean? So, like, the animated, I thought it was going to be kind of that, like the animated series where you expand the lore and all this crazy stuff. But no, it was just like this weird, like fourth wall on fifth wall thing for Toy Story. So huh? Just make an origin movie for the hero of Buzz Lightyear. Just make it in that universe. No one's going to bat an eye. I don't.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was a weird.
And now they're going to make a
concept.
Woody movie.
Right.
I mean, they could actually do that one. That'd be pretty cool, but we'll
That'd be
see.
fun.
But yeah,
Well, if it's based on the actual character and not like the
Woody's
movie
Roundup?
that they saw. Yeah, it's like not the character that they saw on a movie that they made the toy based on in their.
What if the Woody
fifth-
movie is just a dark Yellowstone movie? That's really all.
Ooh, wow, that would actually. Did you guys hear the dilemma with that one?
No.
They're planning on possibly ending Yellowstone at the end of the second half of this season
Really?
because of
Thought you were talking
conflict
about Woody.
with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Not
What he
it's
did?
it's like filming day conflict, not so much.
Oh.
And so he was asking for less because I think he's contracted for another project. And then he was saying, or they were saying that they may just end it after the season and move on to a kind of spin-off with most of the same characters, but with Matthew McConaughey helming as the lead.
I'd say that'd be a good route, I think.
I mean, yeah, I'm with that. I mean, it's funny because I also think that there's a Cole Hauser could definitely carry the show if he needed to. Honestly.
Not Army Hammer? You're not thinking that.
All right, before we get into that, all right, moving on, we're going to
Army
cover
Hammer can do
the
whatever he
review.
wants.
From a jail cell, yes.
Can eat whatever he wants too.
Okay. All
And
right.
whoever he wants.
Okay.
And speaking of eating,
Right.
Leave Army Hammer alone. No.
you could totally do that remake of that. What was that old school with
Yeah,
Britney?
the leave Britney alone. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to review episode 4 of The Last of Us, which
And 5.
continues to.
Should have did your homework.
Would really like to talk about 5.
Well,
I'm just
I was
saying, a
busy.
lot.
I'm
and
just saying.
We've already
'cause
been on pace.
We should just talk about 5.
Well, then we can't talk about 6 next week.
Oh, that's fair.
Because if we record on Sunday, the episode hasn't come out.
It's true.
You're welcome.
Anyways.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Returning
Here we go.
back to Joel and Ellie on their little adventures together. I'm going to leave it over to you, Jalen. What were your thoughts on this episode?
I like that we kind of got back on track with this episode. I like in this episode we start to see Joe's walls kind of start getting a little bit chipped.
Hell yeah.
They're kind of getting scratched at. They're not getting chipped away necessarily in this episode, but Ellie is kind of developing that daughter-father relationship with Joel. And it's interesting to see how Pedro Pascal kind of does his performance and these subtle acting choices he makes to kind of let the audience know that, like, oh, I am, like, he is progressing in this story, and this character is starting to kind of come undone before our eyes. I like the Kathleen character, and I know she's a really great actress because as soon as she was on screen and, like, she did the stuff, I wanted her dead. Like, I hated her. I hate her so much. Like, I hate her a lot. Like, it just so much.
Wow.
Well, mainly because it's just this irrational thing, and it makes complete sense in one version of a brain, and us as the non-trauma audience mostly.
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 I won't speak for everyone.
Watching it, like, none of us are in a zombie apocalypse, all right? Like, so, like, in a non, trauma brain sense, you're like, her reaction to, like, why she's doing the cause is so, like, obscene and petty. At least from where I was sitting, there's nothing like losing people, to be honest. And I think it's just how the show continues to show the ways that people will do anything for love and survival kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed her character. I love seeing that the original voice actor from the game was actually acting on screen in this episode, which was really cool. Also great acting chops, obviously. That tends to be an unsung thing, but most voice actors are also really great, just actors, period. So that was cool. Little nugget for us in the gamers and whatnot that have at least seen the game or played the game before. And yeah, and I think the shootout was cool. And obviously there's the scene where you start to see Ellie kind of morph more into Joel. And that scene was really intense because this whole time you're thinking like, you know, it's just how kids work, right? They learn by observation. And so by seeing how Joel has internalized how he deals with his trauma all the time, her instinct was to just do what she's seen.
Yeah.
And it was sad to see, you know, this little child have to do that and then react that way. And Joel have, again, these subtle choices of fucking Pedro Pascal, like just phenomenal. He sees it instantly. He's like, oh shit. Like
this is the year of Pedro Pascal. Did you guys watch his SNL?
Yes, and the Mario.
I love it.
It's Mario. So good. But yeah, I episode 4 again.
I want to see that film.
Top to bottom.
I mean,
I'm down to watch the show right
hardcore Mario. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm with it.
Where is it?
Where
I want
is
it right
it?
now.
I mean, they can definitely make if Super Mario Brothers does well. At least people know that there's kind of the production knows that there's a wanting for more Mario projects, and I think this is probably the first Nintendo project as a movie since
Sonic.
That's
Sega.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Sega, but then like mostly Nintendo is what it was played on. You know what I mean? It's Sega, Nintendo.
It was everything. But I am excited.
Keone,
what were your thoughts on episode 4?
It's funny because I'm glad you went with Jay first because I was like, what was 4? What was 5? Yeah, okay. So I mean, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call my shot right now. I think this may be a show where the odd episodes are hitting a little bit harder. Because I mean, Jay, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I'm just saying, this was probably like probably one of the slower of all of the episodes they've had thus far. But at the same time, like, I mean, Jay hit it on the nail. What Pedro Pascal does in like these just intimate scenes and like these small little nuanced ways, like he's so damn good. Like, you're right. This is the year of Pedro, man. I am on board with anything that he does.
Forever, always, right now.
Yeah, literally. I mean, with the Mandalorian coming out, I could not be more excited for that. This was, I mean, it was another killer episode. I love the way that they kind of handle trauma. I think Jay hit it on the nail. On top of all of the action that kind of happened in like a small part, I think for them to deal with like real life emotions and kind of give the audience a sense of like what it would feel like to be in like a world, even though everything's falling apart, like for you to still have really true emotional feelings like that. Beautifully done. Whoever is writing the show, fantastic. I mean, I know it's not really like you not really have to write too much because a lot of it is already written for you from the game, but in the same sense, like how they're handling the scenes, not going shot by shot and still able to hit all of the emotional parts of the game and the show. Like it's fantastic, dude. Like this has gotta be the best show of the year. I mean, if I know we haven't seen a lot yet, the year's still young, but if this, I don't know how you surpass this because I have not seen one episode yet that it was not fantastic. So
right. They are 5 for 5, quite literally.
Yeah, 100%. And every episode is a little bit different.
And I wanted to ask you, Keone, because since you played the game, in the past, I guess you could say a couple episodes, we kind of get this look into Ellie's character where there's kind of some like darkness underneath, like, or curiosity in a way. Is that going to be moving forward a conflict that they're going to have to kind of address? Or is this is more of her kind of just understanding how the real world is and she's kind of working through it where, yes, she can have this lighthearted dad joke moments with Pedro Pascal, but then there's also the part where she just took her her first life in front of him, and this is her shooting a gun. Now he's trying to teach her how to holster or keep it hidden, hold it, and everything like that.
Or was
do you
it
have
her
any
first
kind of
life?
I think this will very much be a theme that will play out quite often in the show. It's very similar to God, what was the name of that? Anyway, there was another the Walking Dead game. I don't know if you ever got a chance to play that one. The kind of one where you make choices while you're going through. Very similar to that, where it's not necessarily just that there's like this darker presence, but it's growing up in a world where you have to deal with kind of like all of these different things. That plays out into her character, I mean, through all three games. And it's one of those things where I think if they do it, and they've already been hitting the nail, I mean, if they continue to build her character the way that her character builds in the games, I mean, you're just going to see a progression that is beautiful and wonderful. And also, even though it's set in a post-apocalyptic world, something that's very relatable because I think it's something that every kid deals with. You know what I'm saying? Like they deal with trauma and they deal with, all these sorts of things happening. So I think I don't want to spoil too much because there is a lot of stuff that does happen, but I will say that is definitely a astute thought you're having.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
But Bella Ramsey is just crushing it. I'm glad they went with
so
her.
Good.
Yeah, bro.
As like she's like the perfect kind of yin and yang with Pedro Pascal in this kind of world and how they're acting.
Can I just
Marvel,
say these?
go get her. Go
These
get
British,
her. Please.
these British actors that just nail American accents. It's just
Also-
it's
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
This Bella Ramsey now.
Bella Ramsey. Stop it.
And that's the thing that's always like, we know it's going to suck if we don't like the kid actor. So the fact that the kid actor is so phenomenal and almost stealing the show from Pedro Pascal
Great point.
is
Fantastic
just
point.
like, it makes it so watchable
Like,
all the time.
You know it's good if they just do a scene where it's her by herself. I'm not gonna be like, ugh, where's Pedro? Come on. You're watching, you're like, yeah. Oh, what you gonna do?
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's not just that, but like from episode to episode, like initially, Bianca and I were kind of like, oh, this little girl's so annoying because, like, as somebody who's getting older, you start to see these kind of like rebellious moments like differently. So I think initially it's like, oh, she's annoying, but fantastic part of her as an actress, like for her to just be able to do these scenes and make you feel a certain way, and then the next episode, like right away, you're just like already like, oh my god, I love this girl, she's so good, and yeah, it's just,
I'll probably watch it today, so I'll be like messaging you guys right after, like, oh my god,
You're not ready. No, I'm just
trying to think you're ready for this jet. No, anyways, hey, also, did you guys hear that random thing that post that's been going around about like the age difference between Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey? He's 47, she's 19. That is the exact, or 1 year off age difference than Leonardo DiCaprio and his current girlfriend.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ.
oh my god.
Okay, then.
why you would even make that connection.
Wow.
It's kind of funny. Anyways. But that'll do it for this week's segment on post credits. Glad you guys could join us today. Jalen, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Jalen Holston. You can find me on Instagram at Art by Jalen, and you can find me on Twitch, probably running around the world of Hogwarts and whatnot, at Mokathanos_LGG. Yeah, it's a good
Mokius
time.
Thanius.
Yes.
Keone.
You cannot find me anywhere because I will also be lost in the world of Hogwarts.
I mean, you could be on Twitch while you're.
No, you won't find me. Nope. No, I'm going to experience it by myself. No. Nah. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Keone. It's KAYOHKNEE. Also, I will be doing the same thing as Jay. So possibly Twitch stream for me playing that. But yeah.
Do it.
And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at NolanKYT, NOLANKYT. Once again, thank you guys for giving us a view. We really appreciate it. Wherever possible, if there's comments, let us know in the comments. Things you want to hear, things you don't want to hear, what works, what's working for you, what's not working for you. Other than that, thank you guys for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Poi N Soy, good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.
Shit.
James Gunn still sucks.